All right. Woo.
Right on.
Whew, cold pod.
Outdoor
We're back.
pod.
Not so
Outdoor
cold
pod.
today.
We have a special guest from Montreal, Patrick Holland.
Thanks for having me, guys.
This is great.
And we got Bane over here too.
Welcome.
We got, yeah,
Supervising.
of course.
Off camera.
Yeah.
Fact checker. Like actually, that happened in February. We were saying this is the first time we've had a guest that we don't know.
Yeah,
There
we don't
you
know
go.
personally. At least one of us doesn't know you.
Yeah.
Neither of us know you.
I mean, like
Yeah.
personally.
Well, I mean, I met you for the first time last night,
Mhm.
and I've never met you.
Yeah, we're just.
But
internet
I've just
friends.
known about you from online and music and all that stuff.
Same.
Yeah. And it's wild. I mean, I'm still surprised that we haven't met before.
I know.
But
No, it's like really weird.
I guess
like,
I don't come to Toronto too often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you not? When was the last time you were here?
I played with Tops.
Okay.
In July, we played at some venue downtown.
Yeah, Adelaide Hall.
Yeah, it's like a weird spot to play.
Yeah.
And it was a pretty like last minute booking. I
Yeah,
feel.
yeah.
But yeah, other than that, yeah, I just haven't come to Toronto in ages.
Yeah.
Except for, oh no, I was here for a wedding too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but that's like, that's private.
That's personal. We don't talk about that.
Yeah, no personal stuff on this pod.
As far as the tour
Yeah,
schedule goes,
keep
no,
it
no, no.
professional.
It's been years. How was the show last night? So you.
It was great. It was super fun. Yeah, it was
Played
our
with-
second show ever.
That's what I
Yeah,
was gonna say.
crazy.
So this is all very new.
It's all very new. Yeah, it's a trip because I'm used to just DJing and stuff.
yeah.
And like going from DJing to doing live shit is just
Yeah.
so different.
Oh yeah, it's a
Yeah.
completely different vibe. Like
Yeah,
putting a band together
it's scary.
is scary, complicated, hard, and like because when you're a DJ or making electronic music,
Yeah,
it's just you.
it's
Yeah.
just you,
Like,
and
you can
it's
pull up
it's
with
a lot
USBs.
easier. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's only you that can fuck up.
Yeah.
Is
yeah,
a big
yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm very lucky. Yeah, I'm very lucky. I get, we got Bane over here, Amory as well, who's like playing keys and
Oh, yeah.
singing in the band too. She's super sick. Has done like a lot of her own bands and stuff before too. So
Yeah.
it just like worked out really
Sick.
easy.
What was
Yeah.
your like inclination to switch to a live band? Because you did it all under one title, right?
like as in
Like you didn't like start a new side.
no,
like, it
yeah,
was
because I
all-
just wanted to do it under my name. I mean, it's
Yeah.
something I've wanted to do for a long time.
Yeah.
And then finally, like the classic, like with the pandemic, it was like, okay, now I'm not touring, I can actually do this shit and
Yeah,
like
yeah,
not
yeah.
disappoint anyone by not going on tour.
Right.
And like, convincing like management and agents and shit that I just like don't want to tour and make guitar music is
Yeah.
kinda
Yeah.
a hard thing to do.
Did
So-
people fuck with it? Like not
yeah,
fans,
like
but like
no,
the-
like at first no, like I had to kind of switch up
yeah.
the team and stuff.
Right.
Do you think you like confused your fan base?
Definitely.
Like,
yeah.
And I say that more so because
100%.
Yeah.
The amount of like follower reswitching on Instagram is crazy. It's like so many unfollows. But luckily it's hit a positive. But there was a time it wasn't. It was like a deficit for sure. I was like bleeding. you
Yeah,
know?
because I feel like that's the thing. It's not like here's like a new project.
No,
Like,
it's like here's
like
something else, and I don't know. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
And it's
you
all
have a
just
whole
still
new sound.
there. Like if you go to your like Spotify page.
Yeah, it's all still there. And I mean, like the big thing is like I'm not trying to. Yeah, like I don't like hate dance music or anything. It's just it's something different, and I'll probably still DJ here and there.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Not like the way I did before.
But this is actually like a full switch.
Yeah, it's not like I'm not dipping my toe.
Yeah,
in,
you're
I
not just
guess.
like because there's a lot of like classic like this is just the one guitar record. and
Yeah,
it's, like,
yeah.
back to
It's like
the-
doing the ambient record.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
But-
Everyone just like feels the need to like prove
Yeah.
otherwise, as opposed to being like, no, this is actually like what I'm into. and, like,
Exactly.
what I want to do.
Like I've been wanting to do this like since I started making records,
Yeah.
but I just didn't have like the tools
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
at all. Like I didn't own a bunch of guitars. I didn't have like the money for a studio to
Yeah.
be able to like spend all this time and shit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. It was like a consequential thing. Like making music with just a laptop is like much easier to do.
Right.
So
Yeah.
making electronic music kind of like helped that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because I wanted to talk to you about this like specifically because
Yeah.
I'm like literally going through the
Yeah, you're the
exact
same
same thing
trajectory.
right now, and I have like a new thing that I'm working on that is guitar based.
Sick.
Like it's like, but it's because and like you were just saying like not dissing on dance music because like
Yeah.
I still love
Of course.
dance music. I love
Yeah,
electronic
yeah.
music. I love all that stuff. But I had this moment where. There's only so much MIDI information you can move around before you start to lose your mind.
Totally.
Like sitting on a laptop being like,
Well, staring at a computer all the time is so annoying. So
Yeah.
like the more you can do outside of that and not have to look at the computer is so
Yeah.
nice.
or like picking drum sounds or just
Yeah,
things that like you
yeah.
end up like people don't normally talk, like don't romanticize when
Yeah.
making electronic music, the like actual time it takes to literally like pick like a kick.
Yeah.
You know?
But I mean, and then when you're making live music, like vocal editing
Yeah.
is way worse.
True. Well, because
It's
it's just
way
so many
worse than like
takes.
picking a kick. Oh, it's so fucked. Yeah.
But I feel like there was some like mass craving for live music again after
Yes, totally.
COVID, and like and craving those like imperfection and like the like actual instruments and seeing it all live
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
having that happens, because there's a lot of people I feel like who are making the same shift in their music.
And I think more people are keen to go to like live music events and stuff.
Yeah.
too.
Well, I feel like live music was almost on its way out before COVID in
Yeah.
a weird way.
It
It was totally, yeah. Like people weren't really going to shows, and then COVID happened, and now it's like shows are what everyone is craving.
Or it was like all DIY raves and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and people were just more hooked on doing that than like going to live concerts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's like kind of flipped over a bit, which is sweet.
Yeah.
No, and the thing is, there's room for all of it. It's
Yeah,
not like
of course.
people
No,
would
yeah.
assume that it's like the LCD sound system. Like you sold your
Yeah, yeah,
synthesizers and bought guitars, then you bought
Yeah.
it's like no, it's
Yeah.
not like
It's not that black
just-
and white.
Yeah, it's not
It's
just
like
one
at all,
thing. It's
yeah.
like no,
Yeah.
like people are just, and like that's the thing. It's like I'm assuming you're probably will you make like a one-off like dance track or
I
something?
mean, yeah, like I still have a project. So I share a studio with my buddy Francis. His music goes by Priori.
Okay.
Have you heard his stuff?
Yeah.
He like mixes a lot of people's music too. He runs that label called NAF. But we have a project together called Jump Source.
Okay, sick.
And it's like more, I guess, techno leaning stuff now. Before we did like the first record was very housey,
Yeah.
and then it's kind of like gone down the rabbit hole
Yeah.
quite a bit. So we're always making stuff together.
Yeah,
Sick,
and that's
yeah.
that's the thing that I feel like is just always missing in some of these conversations is like just the way it's presented online
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
being like this is now the thing. Like,
Yeah,
This
but I feel
Patrick
like
makes
switch,
guitar.
Yeah, like for publicity stuff, like they need to say these things to make it a story.
Yeah.
But like, sure, there's a story in there, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
also like it's not that boring either.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know.
yeah.
We make all sorts of shit all
Yeah.
the time. So
Yeah.
Did you start accumulating like live instruments like during the pandemic? Like was that
before
kinda
that,
how?
like I already owned like the guitar I have now. I bought off Peter Sagar like a while ago,
Okay, sick.
which
Shout
is
out to Home
very
Shake.
very lucky
He lives right over
to
there.
grab from him. Sick. Hey, Peter.
You can see his house.
Peter and I used to live in the same building, which is like a 4-unit building back
Yeah.
when I first moved to Montreal, and so we met through that. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
when he was like offering his guitar up, I got very lucky and got it.
You're like I'll take
Yeah.
it.
But I guess that, and then starting the pandemic, that's like when I bought a bass and stuff too,
Right.
and I got a bigger studio space, so I started, people start lending you shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
People just want a place to leave stuff.
Exactly,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is
yeah.
so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's happening in my house. My roommate like took the top 2 rooms and turned one of them into a studio, and now everybody's just dumping their shit there.
Like,
Yeah.
can
There's just
I-
like
can I
10
drop off my
guitars.
words?
I know I've accumulated like snare drums
filling
and
up.
stuff now.
Yeah.
I've started having more cymbals. I haven't paid for any of it. It's great.
And you know what the funniest
Yeah.
part is? People will probably forget.
Yeah, but but it's like people, they're like, oh, I'll come by in 2 months or something and then use it maybe if we need to play live. And I'm like, sure.
Yeah,
It's
pick-
there for you
can
anytime.
pick it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do that
Um,
too. Like I have like a Rhodes that's just like not here.
Yeah.
And my friend has a studio that I sort of share with him. And I remember just being like, I'm just gonna move all the big stuff here.
Yeah.
Because like people are, and also just like you want people to actually use
Exactly.
instruments. Like
Yeah.
there's so much shit that I have just like or had that was just stored in
Mhm.
like closets.
Yeah.
And I was like, someone's gotta play this stuff.
No, it's so convenient. But yeah, so I've been collecting that stuff for a bit, but definitely it ramped up during the pandemic.
yeah.
But Francis and I, we've been like, I guess diving more into like hi-fi audio mixing stuff too,
Okay,
like
so-
outboard gear and all that.
Yeah.
So that was like a part of it.
Right,
For sure.
right.
Um,
Did Tops have wait, when did you join Tops?
Well, Tops was like from last summer. It was before they, pandemic happened, no touring. They canceled all their like the I Feel Alive tour for
Okay.
that album.
Yep.
And then it all got rescheduled for November, like the North American portion got rescheduled for November last year.
Yeah.
And then their bass player, who goes by Better Person,
Yep.
is his artist name. He unfortunately, I'm not sure if you saw it, he felt like very ill from
Yeah, I
COVID.
did. I
He's
saw-
like
Mhm.
long COVID.
Like still.
Yeah,
right?
still
Yeah.
really,
Wow.
really sucks. Long recovery.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he wasn't able to do bass anymore. And we're good buddies.
Yeah.
And so I offered to fill in, even though I'd never played bass in a band before, or ever played bass. So I bought a bass, and David, the guitar player, was like very
Yeah.
convinced I could do it too, and they're all like very down. And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I learned. It was fun.
Damn.
So did
Yeah.
you get soft rock pilled?
Big time. I mean, I've been.
It sounds like you did.
I've been obsessed with their band.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, they're sick.
for a long time.
Yeah.
So I mean, and then we're friends and stuff too. But I'm first and foremost a big fan.
yeah.
So yeah, it was super lucky.
Because there's sort of like this like Montreal sound that I think they are a big part of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which dates back to like, oh god, like 2010.
Yeah,
even. Like I used to
exactly.
play shows with them 2009 even.
Yeah, like with the Silly Kisser stuff too.
Silly Kissers, and then Sean Nicholas Savage and
course,
stuff, and
yeah.
then like all like just that whole like scene.
Mhm.
And like I used to always joke because it was like at the time more so it was like soft rock with like SP404s.
Yes, yeah. A lot of samplers, a lot of synths and
Which
stuff
I
too.
dubbed the Montreal Calculator. And hey, no shade to them. I also have one.
Yeah.
Like, it's a great tool.
You gotta have one.
But no, it was such a sound, and it's cool that it's like stuck, because it was kind of a weird shift in music, I think, where things were very like kind of harsh sounding in Toronto and stuff, and like pre Montreal with like
Right.
what's that band called?
Like Godspeed and stuff?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Like Godspeed and that whole thing, and then there was almost this like switch over to this like really shimmery like lo-fi like pop thing.
And I mean, it was like super song heavy.
Like songwriting, actual
exactly.
like songs,
Yeah.
as opposed to like harsh noise jams.
Totally. And I mean, growing up in Vancouver and going to shows, it was all like mostly punk stuff.
Yeah.
Like seeing New Sensei
Yeah.
and other bands like that in that scene. And it wasn't, I mean, it's songs, but not in like the
Yeah.
same sort of songwriting way that say
What was the other
Tops
band?
or
It was
something.
there was New Sensei, and then there was
I mean, Freaky
White
Waves is another one. Oh,
Freaky Waves, White Lung.
No, yeah, it was a White Lung. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot.
Tons of great bands.
Completely
Super
forgot
fun
about that
to like,
era.
going to all those shows and stuff.
And
It's so
then
great.
We got Orville Peck out of that.
Exactly. It's so crazy.
There you go.
Which is so funny that like if you try to like look that up, it's like kind of there's like one article on like Brooklyn Vegan that's just like turns out Orville Peck.
But you
is
know
the
who
drummer.
outed him was Nardwuar on the Harry Styles interview that came out last week.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, he gave a gift. He gave a new Sensei record to Harry Styles and was like, you know, that's Daniel from Orville Peck.
Really?
And I was like, I don't think anyone has done that publicly. In
That's
that way.
crazy.
Yeah.
No, because there was one article from like years ago, or like whenever he first like came
Yeah.
out, that was like said this thing, and because I played a show with New Sensei, I don't know, a long ass time ago,
Mhm.
and I remember being like, oh, it's him. Like, you know what I mean? Because it's just such a like,
It's I mean, it's like when you see someone in one city and another, and it's so out of context. You
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
recognize
or
it.
in this
Yeah.
case, they're just wearing a mask.
Yeah. That's true.
The mask that never comes off. It's like, I think I know you, but like, you know, maybe I don't. And I was like, okay, I was right. So hold on. So this Michael Imperioli thing,
Yes.
how did
Yeah,
this
how'd that
come
come
about?
about?
We have the same agent.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
this
okay.
guy Jordan Corso, an agency called Anniversary.
Okay.
Really great guy. I mean, he's an agent for so many people.
Right.
Dude is a machine, but still very personable. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
But yeah, and it's the same thing. Like we're opening for Ton Starts Bandit
Sweet.
in November. You've listened to their music, I'd imagine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Andy and Eddie.
Exactly.
Legends.
Big time. But that's for the same reason. I mean, I know Andy as well,
Yeah,
but Jordan, does a lot of different bands and
Sweet.
stuff too. So
Okay.
it was through that. Like we've been looking for, since we started doing the live stuff, we were rehearsing, and we're like, we gotta find some shows. I
Yeah.
really don't want to do headline stuff for a while.
Right,
I would like
yeah.
way prefer like, road dogging it, and
Yeah,
grinding it out.
The support slot.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. Play a bunch of shows. So yeah, got super lucky
Sweet.
for this one.
Michael Imperioli.
Yeah.
I'm very bummed that I missed the show last
Super
night.
nice guy.
Is he?
Yeah. So I mean, the whole band, such kind dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they seem really sweet. Even
Yeah.
their stage presence is
Yeah.
very, like they kept on just being like every like aside that they had was like, this person's here, we love them.
Yeah, and like so many, such like genuine thank yous and
Yeah,
stuff
so
like that
yeah.
too. Yeah,
And it's
Yeah,
always
it's
cool to
beautiful.
see like an actor that is a musician, but not the like actor musician pipeline.
yeah,
Mm.
Like it's not just like you can tell that he's like really wants to do this
Yeah.
and
Totally.
isn't doing it as, because I mean he could very easily be like
Yeah.
like Michael Imperioli and the Zopas or something,
Yeah.
and it would be like, but it's like no. And then he has like the NTS radio show and stuff
Yeah.
too, which is like actually sick.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this guy's like wicked. Like,
and he's involved in the scene from the sounds of it. Like at the show
Yeah.
last night, I'm not sure who was backstage, but there seemed to be some seasoned veterans in the
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
of the rock kind.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
He also seems
it
to be
was
bringing
sick.
up some young bands too, like Girl Dick and like some other bands from New York who he's like
Got you.
just
Yeah,
like
yeah,
stoked
yeah.
on and bringing up and
yeah, I read an interview where he was just like talking about like noise music and stuff, and I
Yeah.
was like, you listen to noise music?
Yeah.
It's
No, he's
sick.
loving. I mean, absolutely loves playing in a band. I think, which is very sick. And he's busy too. I didn't realize he was like still in new shows. I saw like the new White Lotus.
Yeah,
was
yeah,
announced
he's-
with him
yeah.
in it and stuff. It's not like he's playing in a band and
And-
acting,
Yeah.
which is
and playing at
insane.
small venues too, which
Yeah.
is like the extra cool thing to not just be like nice hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sick. But I was bummed that I couldn't come because my friend Harrison. Do you know Harrison, producer?
Sorry, say it again.
Harrison, do you know that guy?
Yeah, which
Harrison.
What's his last name?
His last name's Robinson.
like keyboard player.
Yeah,
Harrison.
he's like a little
yes.
jazz
We met like in Montreal when I first moved there, like in 2014.
Yeah, for like a Red Bull thing, he was actually
Exactly,
saying.
yeah.
So he's like a really good friend of mine, and you know,
He's great.
in a group chat, like
Yeah.
one of my best friends, but I haven't seen him in real life in literally 2 years,
Mhm.
just because he's like a recluse. Love the guy to death, like love him, but I was like, yo, like come have dinner, and he'd be like, I'm on my way, bro, I'm on my way, and then he'd be like, can't do it today. Like, dude, once he literally sent us a photo of him in the driver's seat of his car with a bottle of tequila on like the side seat with the seatbelt on, being like, I'm on my way, boys. And then like 20 minutes later was like, no. Anyways,
He like did it for the photo.
the reason I'm saying this is that we were having like a dinner party last night, and I was planning on going to the show.
Yeah.
And then around like 7:38, Harrison was like, I'm coming over, guys. I'm gonna do it. And I was like, yeah, right. Like, okay, whatever. We're gonna keep cooking, but like, if you come, you come. Lo and behold, he showed up.
Wow.
So I got not sucked in. It was a
Yeah,
great
yeah,
night.
yeah.
But I was had an impromptu hang out with Mr. Harrison.
That's
and,
nice.
And he was talking about how you guys did like the Red Bull thing.
Yeah. Red Bull thing. We haven't. I don't think we've seen each other since then, but it definitely like kept in touch and.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been following him.
Well, that's
super interesting guy.
That kind of brings me because he's a big TikTok video guy.
Yes, he's very like keyboard virtuoso.
But so are you. I've been seeing.
Well, I did some like funny. Yeah.
Because I was seeing the TikTok stuff, I guess, like on Instagram. But you know how you can just like tell from like the camera quality when it's shot on like TikTok.
Yeah.
I was like, these are TikToks.
It's always like distorted and stuff once you
Yeah,
download it off it and post it.
Do you like TikTok? Like, do you?
I
like
mean, I
playing
find it
the
really
game?
interesting. I hate it at the same time.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
we all hate it.
Yeah.
But I also love it.
I had to delete it. I was like spending
With
like
too much
2
time,
hours
yeah.
in bed.
I find I
before
don't get
like,
sucked
out of
in
bed
too
just
much.
being like,
Well, no, because that algorithm, like it, like
It's
as
too
it
good.
knows you better than you know yourself.
it's too good.
And
like-
when you hit the weird version, like when you start seeing really weird stuff, it just feels like YouTube back in like 2009 or
Yeah,
something.
Yeah,
you know?
because
totally.
it's like catered towards like your likes and how fast you swipe away
Yeah.
from things and stuff.
Yeah.
Being like, this guy doesn't want to see this. Like,
And it's great. Once you get away from the dances and the singing, it
when you
gets so
first
good.
open TikTok, it's the most like terrifying place. It's all just like young girls dancing, and it's just like, what the fuck is this?
You're like,
It's
I'm not allowed to have
supposed
this
to
app.
be here.
I'm not supposed to be here. This is not for me. And then but then before you know it, it's all your niche interests in
Yeah.
one place.
Yeah.
It's all old men ranting.
Yeah.
Have you seen
Crazy
Fave TikToks?
conspiracy
You ever
video.
seen that
Oh, of
account?
course. Yeah. That's the best account. Too.
That's one of the best ones.
Yeah, very inspirational, that account. But yeah, no, I mean TikTok, like doing TikToks, I think the more you think about it, the worse it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like just trying to be.
But you didn't have
I
any
don't
like label pressure to like.
I mean, there's a bit like people like the labels do want you to do shit.
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
like indie labels and stuff.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
like, you should figure out how you want to like voice your shit through that. But
Right. Right.
I think because there's already like musician TikTok, like shredder TikTok
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff. Like there's no way someone like me could like do that.
Right,
You know,
yeah.
it's so corny to
Yeah.
do that.
I mean, there could be room for some soft rock TikTok.
Yeah, but it's more like shreds style ones, like where you could like do stuff like that. But I don't know, like when it's super earnest in that way, it's also it's
Yeah.
not real.
Well, I'm just like fascinated by it because it's like, how do you? Yeah, it's like even coming up with the concepts of being like promoting your work,
yeah,
but at the
that's
same
but
time making
I
it like
think
engaging.
It can be like promoting work through it. I think absolutely does not work.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Like the videos that I've posted that have done very well
Yeah.
have nothing to do
Yeah.
with music. Like, did you see the one?
the DJ one.
There's the DJ one, but no, the ones that have done well on my account, like the one that recently did well, it was like when I was in Cairo, I like went to the center of one of the pyramids, and there was this group of like yogis, like white yogis, doing like this oming ritual thing in the center, and I just took a video of that and posted it. And then it got like 11,000 like views and shit, and people commenting, going crazy on it, and like that stuff. That's funny. That's what I want to see.
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't want to see some guy like desperately trying to promote his music.
And then you're like, you're the boss coming out.
Yeah, and you're like
July
swipe.
23rd.
Yeah,
And they're just like, yeah, okay, buddy.
that's what Instagram's for.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so hard to do that shit though because you want to you have to do it.
Yeah,
You have
yeah.
to have a certain amount of social media presence, but to do it in a genuine way, and to like keep your brand, you know, and not tarnish it
Exactly.
just for the clout and just
Yeah.
for the publicity.
That's
It's
like
so hard.
doing like the trend heavy versions of like promotion. Like if you like this artist or this artist,
Yeah.
it can get really dry and cringe real
Yeah,
fast, and not
yeah.
like good cringe.
No.
Yeah.
I think there's a way of doing good cringe, but I haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah, what's
What's-
good cringe?
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, the fave TikToks
Yeah,
420.
that's-
That's
Yeah.
like,
Do you follow that, Austin?
Yeah.
I mean,
or
yeah.
like
Yeah.
Jeremy Fragrance is another
I
key
don't know.
figure. Oh, guys.
Oh, I don't know, Jeremy.
Jeremy Fragrance. I like
Yeah,
the
get
sounds
on.
of it.
Polish
Put
king.
us on.
Yeah. He's terrifying.
Might have to
but-
get him on the pod.
He'd probably do it. Like, careful what you wish for. Yeah.
I have no idea who this person is.
Yeah,
I'm just
no,
like, all
he's
right.
yeah, that's another character. I mean, there's so much of that stuff. It's incredible.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not like I'm gonna start doing that.
Yeah.
You know.
Maybe you should.
I mean, there's a
It
way
sells
of like
records.
yeah. I don't know about like showing your own humor through it, and
Yeah.
not in like
Yeah,
an
that's the
overt like.
thing.
It's not like being a comedian or some shit.
No.
It's like just being like,
Yeah.
I don't know, like we're talking now. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
There's ways of doing that.
Someone was like, we should make a cold pod TikTok.
Oh, God.
I've actually got sent that like 10 times now, being like, should you just put these on? And I was like, do I really want to go through the motions of doing that? But like, we might have to.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Like,
Like,
I
those
don't
things are like,
know.
it's like, yo, bro,
I just know that
top
I'll
5
have to
dead or
edit those
alive.
videos.
I feel like podcasting is like TikTok on its own. You
Yeah,
know, it's
I
like
know.
it's another. It is the thing.
Yeah.
So.
But we got to get to the, the Joe Budden level. The
Yeah. Like crazy reaction videos and stuff. But also anything overly edited on there is really corny too.
Yeah,
Mhm,
exactly.
mhm.
So you gotta keep it raw.
And you got to get that portrait framing, which is
Yeah,
hard.
yeah.
That's the worst.
Come on,
part.
you're the film guy. You
I
should be
can't
able
do
to handle
portrait
this.
framing, man. I still haven't adopted that. It seems impossible for me.
Yeah.
But you're a big podcast guy, right? Are you
I listen to pod. It's funny. Like I used to listen to a lot. And I guess once summer hits, I start biking instead of walking, and then I just haven't listened to podcasts in
Right.
a while.
Right.
Yeah.
Someone told me you're a goner.
Yeah. I mean, my brother got me into listening to them like right at the beginning when they started.
Yeah.
And I've known about Jason for a long
Yeah,
time,
same.
just because I've seen him DJ. Yeah, and
I did see him DJ once.
yeah, in Vancouver back in the day, but yeah, it was from my brother, and then I got my girlfriend into listening to them, and then now she listens to them way more than I do.
It's like it's
which is
what
great.
got me into podcasting.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
be honest, like
I mean, I was naughty, and I listened to Come Town to Red Scare before. It's been a long time, don't listen to that anymore.
We all have to do it at some point. We
Yeah,
all have to
yeah,
do it
yeah.
at
I
some
mean, we've all
point.
been there.
Stav is a funny ass.
I'm
dude.
excited for his new show.
Yeah,
what about the Adam Friedland?
That's
show?
what I mean.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
excited for that.
it's the same thing.
Yeah.
I tapped in. I was like, absolutely not. 5 minutes in, I'm like, I'm good. Been here before. It was a dark time.
I've never listened to any of those guys, to be honest.
Yeah,
I listened
I've
Red
listened to
Scare
like one
briefly.
episode of Come Town and like a couple episodes of Red Scare.
Yeah.
I just listened to Red Scare when it first started too, but
Yeah.
I was touring all the time, so I had way too much time to listen to stuff.
Yeah.
And I was pretty burnt on like listening to music all the time.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's the thing.
That
is
was the
like,
thing,
yeah.
especially during like COVID stuff, I just couldn't listen to music, but like I
Mhm.
needed something new, and I was never into podcasts. Like I listened
Yeah.
to like This American Life, like when
Yeah,
I was like
yeah.
on tour and stuff, and
Exactly.
it's like, but then like to like sort of see the like just people talking kind of stuff, I was like, right. Like there might be something here, and then I rented some microphones. And here we are.
Here we got it. Yeah,
There we go.
it's fun. But yeah, no, I guess I just haven't listened to much recently, honestly.
Mhm.
But it's just seasonal,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's a.
When winter comes around, it's gonna come back too.
Yeah.
And people also just love to like cram them in too. You forget that like just the way people like listen to stuff. It's like we'll drop an episode sometimes and be like damn, no one fucks with this one.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, oh wait, no, like 2 weeks later, everyone's listening to like an old thing, and I'm
Yeah.
like,
Mhm.
but I think the thing that I got really excited about was because, and I'm sure you know about, like obviously know this, but like releasing music takes time.
Yeah.
Like not in the creation part, but in the actual dropping of the music.
course.
It's like you're
Yeah,
sitting
yeah.
on things for sometimes like a year or whatever before it
Mhm.
comes out,
Mhm.
and the sort of instant gratification of being like upload.
Yeah,
It's like this
yeah.
like, at least for me now, filling the void of like waiting on like things coming out, because it like obviously gets tiresome.
Yeah.
Like how long between making this record and it dropping?
Like it was finished in September last year.
Okay.
Yeah, like finished mixed and stuff. But the songs were like fully written and done, like way before that.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
But yeah, the whole process of it all takes.
And you
a
don't
long
play with the
time.
drummer.
No, like I want to.
Okay. So
But
that was like
I just like I also know after playing in Tops, I know the economics of a band, and I know
Oh, yeah.
I know that what costs money and what doesn't, and
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
I got to do things affordable for the first bit if
Yeah,
I really
yeah.
want to travel. with
Yeah,
it.
yeah. No, that
So-
makes sense because it's like
And also finding the right fit. Like Amory and Bain it's a great fit.
Yeah.
And I don't want, it's got to be the right drummer.
Yeah.
I mean, drummers are pretty weird.
Yeah, they don't need to be
They're
good
hard
even.
to
They just got to be the right person.
No, it's true.
Yeah, they really don't need to be good. I mean, very lucky that Amory and Vane are good at their instruments.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, no, the drummer, as long as the drummer can play, that's all you need. Like,
I mean, my songs aren't that hard.
you just gotta. It's like the that infamous Beatles quote when they're like,
Oh yeah.
they're like, is Ringo Starr the greatest drummer in the world?
Yeah. What does it feel like to play with the best drummer in the world?
And no,
He's not even
like,
the best drummer in the band.
He seems like he's not even the best drummer in the Beatles.
Exactly. Yeah.
But we love Ringo Starr.
Yeah, of course.
Ringo was always my favorite Beatle when I was a kid. I don't know why. He
Same.
was my favorite though.
Probably because of The Simpsons for me.
Yeah.
But I guess they were all in The Simpsons.
I don't know.
Different capacities.
I just liked his personality.
He's more playful. That's
Yeah.
right.
He didn't seem like too much of a rock star, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I was never a big Beatles fan. You a big Beatles
I grew
fan?
up with it just because it was like played in the car and
Yeah,
all
no,
that
same.
all the time. I mean, I definitely love that music, but I'm not like listening to it on the regular. I haven't listened to the Beatles in a while. I'm more of like listening to like a John Lennon solo record
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something.
exactly.
nowadays,
Yeah,
but,
like
yeah.
fuck, what is the Plastic Ono band?
Yeah,
that
that
album's
record's amazing.
incredible.
Yeah, it's so
it's
good.
like
Or like the George Harrison solo stuff.
yeah.
I'm not like a big Paul guy.
I'm not a big Paul.
Oh,
My dad's a
McCartney
big
too.
Paul
Come
guy.
on.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I like the music's cool, but like him as a person, I'm not too interested.
Oh, I
in.
mean, yeah.
But I mean, I think they're all pretty narcissistic and backwards, but that's fine.
I mean, bigger than Jesus.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, what was that thing about Imperioli not bringing any amps or pedals? Is that true?
Oh, well, he brought it pedals.
Okay.
But I guess they just do fly-ins.
Okay.
Right.
At least for the Canadian
Yeah,
portion.
yeah,
So
yeah.
like we provided backline and stuff for the Montreal show.
Right.
Okay.
And then it seemed like Hewitt, like the amp company, like sponsored the event last
Yeah,
night.
he's
So they all had
huge.
Hewitt amps
Yeah.
and Hewitt shirts.
Wait, they were wearing
They
the
just-
shirts?
Yeah, the drummer wore the
drummer
shirt,
was, yeah.
which I thought was quite
That's
funny.
actually really sick.
Yeah.
I love that.
But yeah, doing fly-in style stuff.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
pretty leisurely.
Yeah.
Wait, so
Uh,
when is the Tonstarts Bandit tour?
That starts on Halloween.
Oh, sick.
in Montreal. They're playing here, I think, the night before, but not with us.
Okay.
We couldn't, like, doing the drive to Toronto and back for one show is kind of a toughie like that.
Come on.
We'll just start the tour too, you know?
This is why,
Yeah.
You're like, like I don't really come to Toronto very often.
Yeah.
It's like, well, it's not that
'Cause
far,
I-
man.
It isn't that far, yeah.
It
But
isn't
gas,
that
the
far.
401, man.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So wait, so you moved to Montreal, you said 4 years ago?
8 years ago.
8 years ago. Oh,
Yeah.
8 years ago.
Yeah, I moved
Damn.
there at 2014. That's
Okay.
8 years ago, right?
Something-
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, just
Math,
about.
Yeah.
But yeah, moved there then.
From Vancouver.
From Vancouver.
Okay. And do you like Montreal?
I love it.
See, I need to go back because I don't hate Montreal. Don't get me wrong. I don't hate it. I lived there at one point,
Yeah.
so I feel like I can say.
But you're from Toronto.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's a thing.
I know. And I catch myself every time being like, Josh, shut up. You're just like the classic like Toronto guy being like, yeah, Toronto's better. But it's not. It's Montreal is actually way sicker. But I think I like love Toronto because of how shitty it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's just like not as nice. It like looks like it's fucking like disgusting condos everywhere. But I guess I haven't been to Montreal now that the more I think about it, it's actually been like I think the last time I was there was 2017.
Oh, wild. Yeah,
So-
that is a long time ago.
And like what is Ramados still there? It's gone, right? Or is it
Yeah, it's
back?
gone. It's gone. Also, that area is like an area you just like wouldn't go to anymore.
Oh
really.
yeah, no, like yeah.
But no, I think it went 3 years ago. I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
Because we used to have a thing called the Montreal Five,
Oh, I
which were the classic 5 Montreal restaurants. It was like Patati Patata,
Yeah.
Ramados. Fuck, what were the other ones? What's the like really shitty, just like kind of fast food like poutine place?
Oh, La Belle Provence.
yeah,
Yeah.
La Belle Provence. Saint Victor Bagels,
Yeah.
and I forget what the last one was, but that was it. Those are my favorites. And
Yeah.
and then the and then Royal Submarine.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. That spot's still
For
there.
the real heads.
Somehow that spot's still there. I have no idea how. I think it's all fueled by like ping pong club and shitty places like that.
That
But-
place is like wild to me. I remember buying a sub from there once. You ever seen those things?
No, so gnarly.
They're like massive. There's one that I got that was called like I forget. It was like the Grand something, and I was like, I'll have that. And like the guy was like literally like he'd like fry up steak and then like grab salami. And he just kept adding meats to this thing, and I was like, what have I got myself into? And then I actually like split it with David from Tops.
Oh, sick.
Like years and years ago.
Full
But no,
circle.
I do love Montreal.
I think, yeah, when you're from a city that's like in close proximity to it, I can imagine like the idea of moving back. Because like if you were trying to get a job there and don't speak French,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
tough,
that's the
you
only
know?
thing.
That's
Yeah.
a big one. But I guess I moved from Vancouver. I drove there.
Okay. Oh, really?
And then I kind of, I just had no plans of going back.
yeah.
And I stuck to
And you
that,
can
which
still,
is nice.
it's still relatively more affordable. Like, I mean, it's gone up a
yeah,
lot
yeah.
since.
But like I'm paying the same rent in Montreal right now that I was paying in Vancouver 10 years ago.
Right.
Wow.
Oh, really?
And I was staying in a much worse place in Vancouver.
Yeah.
Not that it was horrible or anything.
No,
but
I know,
yeah,
I know what you mean, though. It's just like...
But I famously, my favorite is that I spent one point, I lived in a house and I paid $170 a month for rent.
Holy shit.
And
This
this
is like-
and this when I was touring a bunch, so it was great. It was more of like there was no windows in my room or anything.
Yeah.
But it was great.
170.
Yeah.
But that was like
Yeah.
that was a classic Montreal thing, because I
Yeah.
remember my friend Cool Boy, shout out to Cool Boy,
Shout out.
his rent, I remember his rent was like I think $200, and it was
Mhm.
just so funny that he like lived in like Little Italy again before it was like kind of a spot.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely more expensive and stuff, but still, in terms of Canada in general, for like
Oh,
a city
yeah.
that has a lot going on,
Yeah.
like in comparison to the price of living, it's
Mhm.
yeah.
Is the like DIY kind of culture still like a big thing there?
Yeah, definitely. I
still-
think like in terms of spaces and stuff, there's like less places. Like I guess because of the pandemic, but even before then, a lot of like less DIY venues, like
Mhm.
warehouse spaces and stuff to do parties.
Yeah.
Or that scene is kind of just on a bit of a I mean, it's kind of happening, but not like the way
Yeah.
it was before.
Is like the DeRoche like that?
Well, that
lot
building's
building
still there somehow because there's a huge university campus
Okay.
across the street now.
Really?
So it's very much on the outs, and then on the other side of the building, it's like getting sandwiched in by this huge condo building. So we
Shit.
actually rehearsed at a space in there last week, but I can't imagine they're going to be able to make loud music there.
Yeah. So that's like
In like 3 months, even.
fuck like that.
Really?
But
yeah.
that building's probably going to get bought and then torn down for
And,
sure.
like,
It's just surrounded by like
Yeah.
yeah.
That's not because
Yeah, all of
it's
just
truly
closing
been
in on it.
Yeah,
It's
but
been
that
that-
building was the spot. Like there was,
Yeah.
You could go any weekend, go there, and there's
different
like 5
floors
different
would have
parties.
different things. Yeah. No, because like the last time I was there, I don't even remember when it was, but yeah, it was still just like
Yeah.
nothing around it. Like
Mhm.
I can't.
And that
even, like,
that lasted
imagine.
until basically 2018, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
at that point, a lot of the original people in that building, like Seb, who
Mhm.
runs Arbutus, who
Mhm.
now he bought this building over on like Jean Talon and Saint Hubert. He
Okay.
opened that new spot called System.
Okay.
which you may
Yeah.
have seen.
Yep.
That's in like the ground floor of the building where my studio is.
Oh, sick.
But he used to be in the DeRoche building and had like a venue in there ages ago too called Lab Synthèse.
Oh yeah.
Which you probably went to
Yeah,
at
yeah.
some point. But yeah, dude, the DeRoche building was the spot.
Yeah.
And then all the original kind of people that had spots in there left, I would say 2017, 2018.
Right.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's like the end of an era. Did you ever go to any of the? Did you ever go to Labs and Deaths
No, that was like before my time.
or Torn Curtain?
That was also before, because like Drones, I guess Torn Curtain became Drones, right?
Yes.
And then next to that was a place called Poisson Noir
yes.
as well. And that was, again, like very close to the same spot,
Yeah.
but all those places are done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was truly such a like a time
Oh, yeah.
when it was like really popping. I was like, that was kind of when I was there.
Because you were there probably before me,
Mm-hmm.
like when it was called Torn Curtain and stuff
Yeah.
too, which I feel that was like I came in just after that.
Okay, yeah. Because there was like the infamous bust. I'm sure you've probably heard
Yeah,
about this
yeah.
this night.
Many times, yeah.
Wait, what's this?
I forget what the party even was. I think it was like maybe Dole Drums or something was playing, and it was like just this, after hours party, whatever, or kids doing whatever, and then I guess I'm pretty sure Rolly, Cadence Weapon, was like
Mhm.
DJing as he would DJ every party back then, and then Talvi and I left, let's say at 1 or 2 or something. Maybe 15 minutes before like this raid happened, where just like all the Montreal cops just like pulled up,
Damn.
kept everyone in the building, wouldn't let
Mhm.
them leave, and like searched every single person. I heard they were there till like 7 a.m. or something like
Yeah.
that. It was like just like this wild.
But
like,
and similar things have happened since then in other spaces. I've luckily just never been around when it's happened.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I mean, I've been there when cops have busted things, but not in that way.
Yeah.
But there's been these like very intense kind of.
yeah, and Montreal,
Montreal
cops,
cops
are
seem
just,
to be intense. Like even
Well,
during
they
COVID,
have like
that
a
whole-
special unit for breaking up these parties.
Wow.
There's actually like a thing because there's people that would go to like the city council meetings for this type
Yeah,
of
yeah,
thing,
yeah.
and I can't remember what it's called. There's people that know much more about this than I do.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah, there was like specific to these things, and people would like. There's people that I guess not necessarily the landlords of these buildings, but people would pay the cops off.
Really? To just like avoid. Yeah.
Yeah, not like people running the spaces necessarily. There was like I can't remember who it was, but
Yeah.
that was a thing.
Yeah.
And they would like it was all dependent. Like I remember when the student riots were happening
Yep.
really heavy,
Mhm.
they were also shutting down the parties really intensely. It was sort of like a retaliation.
Yeah.
To that, even though I think those scenes are not really the
Not
same,
even-
but I think they
Those
thought
guys
they
don't
were
go
the
to
same.
school.
Yeah. It's like I don't think anyone here goes to school. Yeah.
Pick one or the other.
Creating a divide between the students and the partiers. This
It's
is
like,
your
these,
fault.
these are directly linked. Yeah. So
I guess Montreal is changing.
yeah, it's changing for
Yeah.
sure. But because there's not a lot of party spaces, there's still a lot of people with studios and whatnot.
Right.
So I think there's a lot of music being made there right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
And I also think there's a lot more, what seems to be a lot more like, I mean, there's always been a lot of bands,
Yeah.
but there was a time there where everyone was just being a DJ.
Yeah.
And then I
always see
think we've
Montreal.
kind of like leaned back a bit
Yeah.
I always see
into,
tweets about like how many DJs there are
Yeah.
in Montreal.
and it's still true.
Yeah. I think I left Montreal when the that switch happened, when everyone became a DJ.
Yeah.
And then I did the same thing for just a year. I was like, yeah, I'm a DJ now. But do you miss DJing?
Like yes and no.
Okay.
Like I don't miss like traveling and DJing.
Yeah.
But I miss playing a fun party.
Yeah.
I miss playing those DIY parties.
Yeah.
'cause that
Were you
doesn't
like
happen.
touring like super heavy?
Yeah.
Like in the Project Pablo days
in
and
like
stuff?
from 2016 or 2015 till 2019, I was touring like
Yeah.
very like more than half the year
Yeah.
Crazy.
typically.
I think I went to a couple of your shows in like 2015, 16.
here or
here.
Yeah,
Yeah. Maybe one in Vancouver.
yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But it was a lot. Like mostly in Europe though.
Yeah.
Like Europe, Australia, Asia. Like in 2019, I went to Asia twice.
Crazy.
Like beginning and the end of the year, and then Australia twice as well. So
Damn.
bookended by like multiple European tours.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
Too. So right before the pandemic, I actually had just got an apartment in Paris.
Oh shit.
Oh,
I was
shit.
gonna start living there part time, and then the pandemic happened. I paid like 5 months rent to an apartment I
Fuck.
never saw. It was
Damn.
really shitty. But
Jeez.
yeah, so I was like kind of gearing towards that, and then not anymore. But yeah, DJing's still fun. Like last week, I was in LA and I went to play this festival in Palm Springs.
Was it the
It's called Splash House.
Was it the Friends with Benefits thing?
No. Same weekend.
Okay.
But different thing. This is like a big like EDM festival in Palm Springs. at
Okay.
different hotels and stuff.
Crazy. I've never been to Palm Springs. I really want to go.
It's a weird place. Yeah. It's sick. Is really hot. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
different. It's like like talking about the weather's boring as hell, but
Yeah.
I'm talking, this is different. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's
We don't need to get
it's
into
desert
it. Yeah,
heat.
yeah. Desert
hot.
heat. Okay, we're good.
We'll
now.
move on
Yeah.
from there. No, but it seems like such a strange place to me, just like vibe-wise. Like I it doesn't seem to have, or maybe it does, and I just don't know. But like, does it have like an identity?
I mean, it feels like a retirement home. The
Yeah,
whole thing,
yeah, yeah.
and then or a place that like EDM festivals happen.
Right.
You know, and then there's the Ace Hotel, which is a weird in between.
Yeah.
Type
DJ the
situation.
pool party.
Yeah, but it's a lot of people that just go there to escape. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just rich guy weekend.
Exactly.
Rich guy weekend.
So I wouldn't really recommend it. It's interesting.
I mean, every time I'm in LA, I'm like, we gotta go to Palm Springs,
But
and
there's
nobody
also-
wants to go.
Yeah.
They're like, why?
Yeah.
They're like, let's go
There's
to like
better
Joshua
deserts,
Tree.
I would say. Yeah.
but it's something that like I kind of I stand by it. I just want to see the tackiness.
Yes.
And the
yes.
kind of Art
and
Deco.
it still exists there. For
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
There's this deli there that I've gone to each time I've been there. I had never been to Palm Springs before, and then in the last year I've been there 3 or 4 times randomly.
What's the deli?
It's called Sherman's Deli.
Okay.
It's this old Jewish deli that's been there for ages.
Sick.
And it's very sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ever go back to Vancouver, or do you go back often?
Rarely. I was there in March last, and I'll probably go back around Christmas time or something.
Sweet.
But my family, like my whole family, lives out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I lived there for 2 years, and when I first came back, I was like, "Fuck Vancouver, I hate that place."
Yeah.
And then now I'm like more and more kind of missing it in a
It's
weird
cool.
way.
I don't miss it.
Yeah.
Like I miss like where my parents live. Like my mom lives on Bowen Island. My dad lives on Salt Spring. But the city itself, I don't miss.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a strange place.
Yeah.
It seems very like cut off in a weird way from
Completely.
the rest of the world, and just
Yeah,
yeah, it's strange. I had like a really hard time making friends there.
It's
doing
super
anything
isolating.
there. It's like
I mean, that's the thing. Like I grew up there, so I had high school friends and
Yeah.
Yeah.
stuff like that, and yeah. But I can't imagine being an outsider just coming in and
it's strange.
trying to be like,
Great
hey.
Chinese food though.
Yeah,
Great
I mean,
Chinese food, sure.
great food there. This
Yeah.
is for sure.
Good sushi.
But yeah, I don't miss the city at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just miss the beach.
Yeah.
Miss the beach.
Yeah, because you become like a nature guy now.
I became such a beach bum. It was great.
You got beaches here
every day. I know. It's
Yeah,
hard.
I don't know if I go that far. We do,
hard.
but they're like surrounded by like.
But I would like.
buildings.
I lived in the West End, which is like
yeah,
walk
I
to the beach.
would say if
yeah.
you're gonna live in Vancouver City at all,
Yeah.
the West End is the place.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's the best spot.
Yeah, I got 2 buddies that live in a building together. It's like very like sitcom-esque, but their building's very sick, and it's right on the beach, basically.
Oh, really?
So.
Do you know? Okay. Yeah. Is it like by English Bay?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like right by English Bay, almost right by the park too. Like they're on
okay.
the edge,
Sick.
almost as far over as
Yeah,
you
all
can
those
get.
buildings are sick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the only. When I visited them in March, I was like, "Ooh, I could do this.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
then you see the price tag and stuff.
And then everyone lives in like, Mount Pleasant. I'm like,
Yeah.
if I'm gonna live in Mount Pleasant, I might as well live in Toronto.
Exactly. That's where I lived when I
Yeah.
lived there, like outside of after high school and
Yeah.
stuff. But yeah, I don't need to go back. I miss my friends there though.
Yeah.
No shade to them.
You gotta say hi to the friends, you know.
Yeah.
People
Gotta
get
go
mad
every
at me
couple
when I
years.
talk shit about Vancouver on the pod.
Oh, really?
All my Vancouver friends, because I think they take it personally. So
Got
I'm
you.
gonna disclaim that I'm not talking about you guys.
Yeah. No.
No,
of course
and
not.
Vancouver's a beautiful, beautiful place.
Yeah.
Like anytime I'm there, I'm like, this is so beautiful.
Yeah.
But then I'm also just like, a weekend isn't enough
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah. I usually when I go there, I just go straight to the island now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And try and drag friends out to the island and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. We were talking about Joel Ford earlier.
Yeah, I got to. I mean, I like his mixing and
Yeah.
all that and music across the board. But I hit him up to hang out last week when I was in LA.
Oh, sick.
We just got a beer,
Nice.
and chilled.
I love
Great
that
guy, super great guy.
Was it your the first time meeting him?
First time meeting
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's like a legend. And
Yeah.
just such a like he's just good at everything.
He's done so much stuff.
Like so many different things.
and that's what when I sat down, I was kind of I got the feeling that he didn't really know why I wanted to meet him. Which I was like, oh, that's funny. But and then I just wanted to know how he has done what he does. You know?
Yeah,
He went
yeah.
from like touring in bands and doing all this stuff, and now he's just like producing and mixing and
Yeah.
yeah,
No, because we have something. Me and him have something coming out in September,
sweet.
which is like going back to the whole like switching between electronic and guitar music.
Yeah.
It's something we made like a year and a half ago. That's like
Gotcha.
finally coming out. And I was like so not even over it, but I was just like so in like guitar zone
Mhm.
that I like listened to it again like yesterday, or I sent it to you when you shot
Right,
that
yeah,
video for me apparently, which I've never seen. And I was like, oh shit, like yeah, this is actually kind of sick. So like he just like makes stuff sound like crazy.
Very heavy.
Like-
Like he can fill space out, because he also worked on a record like this guy, Honey Harper.
Mm-hmm.
He lives here actually, my friend Will and Alana. But he had a record that he finished. He recorded in LA, and then he needed someone to mix it. I think we were talking. I was trying to help him out, 'cause I think he was going to mix it himself, and then Joel ended up doing it.
Yeah.
And it sounds great.
And he's also a deadhead. That's the funniest part about Joel Ford.
Oh hell yeah.
Dude is into everything.
I
Yeah,
know. Like
it's
you
great.
think he's one thing
Yeah.
and he's just not.
But that's like he does he does like Phil's records.
Yeah.
And then does the Honey Harper record,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is straight up country.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
like no electronics.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so sick.
Yeah. No, he's like a funny dude. He's always just like, I'm like, how do you like, I want this to sound like this, and he'd be like, let me just call up Perfuse 73 right now. I'm just like, what? And the guy's like, yeah, I just use this to sample this. And he's like, cool.
Yeah, he knows everyone.
I'm like, all right.
But yeah, I
Anything
guess
else?
also I hadn't known Joel like through Mike Silver as well.
Mhm.
Do you guys Mike, right?
I don't know
You
Mike,
haven't
no.
met Mike?
Oh, I know Mike.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. You know Mike, CFCF.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because Mike lives in LA now too,
Yeah,
so I was
yeah.
hanging with him as well.
Yeah.
And they were all at the FWB thing the weekend before. and stuff,
You didn't
so-
go to that though,
No,
right?
no.
What's your what are your thoughts on crypto and all that
I mean,
stuff?
I have some.
Okay.
But I don't really I don't obsess over it. Or,
Have anything about like what do you think about like the kind of music and crypto thing? 'Cause
I think it's like
become,
we're
a thing.
years away from it
Yeah.
being
Yeah.
making sense.
Mhm.
Like the music currently on there. No offense to it or anything. It's a lot like it's
Like
the
throwaway?
audio version of the visual stuff. to
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
Which is cool that it in terms of its like the format or whatever is
Mhm.
interesting to see what can happen. But
Yeah.
we're
I'm
like
just curious
probably
about,
10 years away from it being a viable.
You think that long?
Probably. Because you have to convert like people like our parents need to be able to understand
Yeah,
it
yeah.
Yeah.
for it to be a viable
But
thing.
I think things are moving faster that like I'm not saying it's gonna
But
happen.
imagine
like
trying to
now.
like explain a crypto wallet or something to your like
Like, it's
grandparents.
not real.
still
You,
don't
you own it,
understand.
but it's in there.
If I can't get it, my dad can
Yeah,
get it.
there we go. So,
I mean,
so we are
actually,
far
my
away.
dad might
you
be
know?
able to get
I
it, but
pretend that
that's
I'm like,
Yeah.
like being like, yeah, crypto, but like,
Yeah.
I like literally, I'm like, yeah, you know, the chain and the da da da,
Yeah.
like just like.
No, it has
say
to
shit.
become. It has to become as obvious as like Spotify or something.
Yeah.
Like if it's not that easy, then because like Spotify won against pirating because it became easier than pirating.
Yeah,
Right,
So
exactly.
like
Yeah.
you have to become so simple.
Yeah.
Which is very far away. From
Yeah, I guess it's for now. It's just like I
It's
guess
too
honestly-
exclusive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like kind of like influencer-y in a sense,
Yeah,
but not in
yeah.
like the like TikTok influencer.
Yeah.
in the,
Yeah.
like I'm a guy with X amount of followers, so I'm gonna go to this thing and I make music and I'm into
Exactly.
it. But like,
Mm.
how into it are you? You know?
Mhm.
I
I'm curious
minted
about
some photographs.
Nice.
Did you actually?
Yeah.
I think for photos, it seems like a thing that could actually work.
Yeah. It makes.
Um,
I mean, it kind of makes sense for that. It gives it like some kind of value.
Or like limited,
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
For music, I don't think music should be limited. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
That's
I
what
agree.
kind of falls down. Like
Yeah.
people have talked to me about that. I was like, I don't think one person should own. Like I don't even need to own my music.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
people just
Yeah.
need to be able to hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're a pro streamer.
Yeah.
Nice.
Currently.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hot
I'm very
take.
pro streaming. I'm just like pro getting it out as
No,
as
I
wide
no.
as
The
you
thing
can.
is, I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah. I know. Yeah,
completely agree, and I say this all the time.
Yeah.
Because like, obviously the whole Spotify thing with like the royalty
Yeah.
and blah, blah, blah is bullshit.
And the infrastructure sucks big time.
Yeah.
But I'm pro just being able to get it out there.
Yeah, I
and
mean that's
then-
at the end
yeah.
of the day, that's kind of just like what the whole point of it is.
Yeah, you just want people to
It's like
listen.
for people to
Yeah.
actually hear the shit you make and
Yeah.
not just be like.
I mean, you need to be able to live out of it to a certain
Yeah.
extent, but I
Yeah.
mean that also can't be your main expectation when
Yeah.
you make
Yeah.
music.
yeah.
So.
Well, I always wonder, like, you ever think about like how rich you'd be if you like just like had the same success but in like the 80s?
Of course, I mean, but I also don't think I would have had the opportunity.
Yeah.
But it's just funny
That's
to
the
think
other
of
thing. Yeah,
like, be
it's
like,
great, yeah.
be like, million streams on this. Like, imagine if that was just like album sales.
Oh, it'd be crazy.
I was like, yep, all of my friends would own houses.
Yeah. Big time.
But instead, it's not the case.
But I think it's interesting to think about like, because you have such a positive view about the current, like, way.
I wouldn't say super positive, but like I'm pro the format.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not necessarily pro the business of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the business of it is like the most inside job bullshit
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the fact that someone like me who is mostly independent, like I signed to a label for this record, but
Yeah.
generally I've just done everything myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that I could like sustain
Yeah.
a recorded music career
Yeah.
Yeah.
fully solo is wild to me.
Yeah, yeah,
So
insane.
I,
No,
I
it's
couldn't do this
amazing.
in the 90s or the 80s or anything.
Yeah.
So.
You could.
Maybe, but I'd be like slinging records and
Right. Like
Doing
selling
it-
mixtapes out of your trunk or
yeah,
something.
I'd be doing it a
Yeah.
very different way. Yeah.
It's so easy to romanticize those past
It is,
periods.
yeah.
And like even when we're talking about like, the glory days of Montreal or the glory days of Toronto or all this stuff. I was thinking today, I was like, so many of the things that we think about those times being so good are like happening right now here.
Yeah.
And I'm sure in like 10 years we're going to look back and be like, wow, that was a really good time.
I mean, that's always
You
the
know,
When
case.
it's always the
podcasts blew
case.
up.
Yeah.
Remember when those people were just doing podcasts and
It's like,
we
remember guys,
can't
we're just
do that
doing talk
anymore.
radio right now.
That's actually so dark to think about, the idea that like this era might be like known as like the era of like people just be like, yeah, like in the history of books, it's like, and then everyone like stopped making music and started doing podcasts. It's like, yikes.
See, I never started making music, so
There
I
you
went
go.
back to podcasts.
I mean, I still.
But you
make
do
music.
film stuff, right?
I do film stuff, yeah, and I actually did start making music recently.
Uh-oh.
I'm pretty much a big liar.
So,
but
Yeah.
but I did the podcast before the music.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
The film to pod to music
Yeah,
pipeline.
exactly.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like just
Yeah.
completely backwards.
Yeah.
Just flipped it on its head.
I'm trying to do all of it. I
Yeah.
don't want to do just one thing.
Yeah.
Do you have any like other records like with this style coming?
Yeah,
out,
I mean,
or-
I'm always making stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then also doing a lot more like mixing and production with other people too.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, so that stuff's always ongoing.
Do you think there'll be like another arc after this?
I mean,
era?
what I want, like touring and stuff is sick, and I will be doing that for a while. But really, what I want to do is just be in the studio all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like either writing for people or with people, producing and doing more mixing and whatnot too.
Yeah.
So that's like really, I think that's end game stuff. You know what I mean?
Does the like writers' room kind of vibe like
I'm
Would you be
interested
into
in that. Yeah, I know people that hate it that do it,
Because
or they
and everyone I know that does it, like,
seems to dislike it, which I understand.
But
'cause
I think it
sure
would be
feels
fun.
more like a job.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just like writing with other
Mhm,
people.
mhm.
It's super
No,
fun.
same.
But I'm sure there's certain environments where it's like stale.
well, because I think it probably gets stale for people because there's such a competition in the room
Yeah.
where everyone wants to have like a credit, basically, as opposed to like actually writing like a good song.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there's also no guaranteed credit or money either. So
Yeah.
if you do it all the time, you feel like you're
You're
just
just
like
spread
spitting
betting.
into the void. And
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to get more into that, and I actually did kind of like a year ago,
Mm-hmm.
and it honestly kind of drove me a little bit nuts because it was just like,
Well, when you chase it, I feel like
Yeah.
it'll suck.
yeah,
But if you fall into it just because you write with other people, like friends,
yeah,
I mean, majority of the time, I want to prioritize writing with friends.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure, because
Yeah.
that's fun.
yeah,
Like
no,
doing
that's
whatever's
that's,
organic is just
Exactly.
the best way.
That's
Yeah.
the only.
I'm gonna get back into it. I feel like I'm just like nope, sucks. Like nope, don't
Yeah.
do it. I'm like no. What am I talking about?
I think it's good to just always always trying different things.
Yeah, to like stay.
Because doing just your own music is also very boring.
Yeah.
It's like can really suck.
So
Yeah.
you played
Yeah.
everything on your record?
Yeah, except for saxophone.
Okay.
Yeah, our buddy Chris.
Cool.
Chris, who plays in Jonah's band as well.
Oh,
okay,
sweet.
sick.
Yeah.
Sweet.
He did sax.
Yeah, because you know Jonah.
Yeah.
Cool. Because
Yeah.
I saw you guys were together at the Montreal show.
Exactly.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. yes.
Jonah's the best.
Yeah,
Everybody.
Jonas-
It's just funny that everybody knows each other, and like
Yeah.
we just didn't know.
I mean, Jonah knows everyone.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Jonah moved to the city and just somehow within
Yeah.
a week knew every single person and
Yeah.
had a mural of
But
himself.
Jonah and us
Have
hanging.
you seen the mural of
Like,
Jonah?
what?
Yeah. Oh, I know. I haven't seen it in person. I just know it exists. I mean, we got to go pay homage.
Yeah, you gotta
Is it still
go
there? I
bow
think it
in
is.
front of the Jonah.
It's still there,
Oh,
right?
it's 100% still
It's like
there. Yeah.
huge. It's like what,
huge.
4 stories?
Where is it?
It's at right at Kensington.
at the
like,
top
right
of
at the
Kensington
intersection
Market.
on College. and
We're gonna go to Sonic Boom to grab some CDs. Maybe.
Oh,
So
there you
maybe
go.
we'll just
Yeah.
pop
It's
by.
literally
Pop
yeah.
by.
If
Yeah.
you're walking there, you'll actually pass it if you go along College.
Like,
It's
there
on
we
the
go.
way. No detour.
This is, the other, this is kind of a different point, but like in terms of what's sick about right now in the music industry and the film industry and stuff is that the population right now is so big and you
Mhm.
can make whatever you want and there's probably going to be a niche audience for it.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And that's
Yeah.
like that's unfathomable in
Yeah.
like, in history
Mhm.
compared to now. It's insane.
Totally.
And that's I think
You just
Yeah.
can't expect it. I guess
No,
like
yeah,
some
yeah.
people think like I made art so people have to enjoy it and I need to
Yeah.
make money off it, which is like sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you have to put in stupid amounts of work,
Yeah.
like more than any other job you've ever done,
Yeah.
Yeah.
to make that happen.
Yeah.
Well, it's also
Um,
just like even mentally too, because there's like I'm sure there's times when you just like can't make music.
Yeah.
You know those days when you're just like
Oh my god. Yeah.
like people are like people are like no days off, and I'm like
Mhm.
yeah, but like it just wasn't
Sometimes
working
it just
today.
doesn't. I remember when I like first started making music like a week ago.
The good
I was
times,
like
yeah.
I wrote like 3 songs in like 3 days, and I was like, oh, this is
This is
just coming out.
easy.
It's
Yeah,
easy.
yes. What are these people complaining
Why-
about?
What do you mean? And then
You're
like
3 for 3. Yeah.
and then like all of a sudden I sat down. I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna keep this momentum going, and I try, and it's just and I can't do anything.
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah.
can't. Nothing's coming out.
Yeah. No, I had like a dead spell up until like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Nice.
When I just didn't make anything for like tried, but just
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
make anything that like stuck for like
Yeah.
I don't know, a month or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I like was like, just pick up the guitar again, and I was just like, what? And I was like, yes. I was like, fuck yeah, I'm back. But so I'm like writing that right now, but
That's
like
sick.
could be gone tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I think when you in those downtimes, then that's when it's good to either work on other people's stuff. Too.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
right,
And like
yeah.
and like
Uh,
listen too.
And
Yeah.
do
Just,
like the practical things too.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's good to practice as well.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I've learned.
Yeah.
It pays off in the end.
Were you
Yeah.
playing guitar like as a kid?
I learned like when I was 16. I got like an acoustic guitar, but I've never played electric guitar until now. I've
Really?
never owned one
Really?
until now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Crazy.
Crazy.
And
That's
I-
like
yeah.
yeah. And drums too?
Drums, like that was like the first instrument I learned as a kid.
Okay. Did you ever play in bands or anything?
Never.
Like, no.
Like in high school, there was an elective class called rock band, and we just
Sick.
learned like Mustang Sally and taking care of business and
Yeah.
stuff. And I played drums. I played drums in that band, but you just play like school assemblies. And
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
Right, yeah, yeah.
Nothing crazy.
So when did you start making like your own music?
Dance music stuff came when I was like 20.
And was it straight to dance music, or was it like
it was just through using Ableton. So I
Right.
think when you start out that way, it wasn't to dance music. It was more to like I was making, when like Radiohead came out with In Rainbows and they put
Yeah.
out all those stems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
just like messing around with stems.
I actually completely forgot about
Yeah,
that.
I was messing around with those stems to like learn it, but it was this guy, like I was going to school at UBC. I did 1 year of science and hated it, and then met a dude in the dorm, and he was like, I make music on Ableton.
Sick.
So I got him to show me how to use it, and then that was it. And that was when I was 20.
Sick.
Damn.
So ever since then, it was like a video game.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
being addicted and
Yeah,
doing
and
it
just
all
like
the time.
learning like a new thing and be like,
Yeah.
I can do everything.
Yeah.
Did you record this on Ableton?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I always found, like, I use Logic.
Yeah.
Not to get like super nerdy on this one. I guess I was like,
Get
what are you
nerdy.
talking about? No, but I always found Ableton to be. I mean, I use both.
Yeah.
But I found Ableton to be like more for like just more geared towards like electronic stuff.
Totally.
Just for the interface and the way it works.
Mhm.
But like Logic, I always found just to feel more like bandy.
It
Yeah.
seems to be marketed that way.
Yeah,
As well.
which I wonder why, because they're like basically they're the same thing.
It's all the same.
It's like
shit.
literally
I
the-
mean, there's like difference when like the digital summing, and if you
Mhm.
really want to get nerdy with it, but you can also avoid all that stuff. Like I guess Francis and I, we like mix a lot of stuff out of the box now.
Yeah.
Like you record into it, but like the actual final version of the song is actually just
mixed
recorded
out of the box.
It's like summed through gear.
yeah.
So it never actually gets digitally bounced.
Oh, wow.
That's sick because
Yeah.
that's I feel like is
Because that's how you
very
avoid
rare.
a lot of like the Ableton sound.
yeah.
Which people seem to complain about.
Which
But
is
there's
like-
also like, if you're using Ableton plugins, it's
It's-
probably going to sound like shit.
Yeah.
So you just don't use Ableton
Yeah.
plugins. Like
No,
no
but-
offense, Ableton, but
Your
they're-
plugins.
Yeah, you do.
Get
make-
those sound toys.
Exactly. They make a great DAW, but there's other people that make just plugins, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
probably better off using those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it definitely can force like some music making into a box.
Yeah. That's rare. That's really rare though. Like not rare, but I feel like everybody's so in the box these days. Was this switch like for this record, or were you always doing that?
I mean, we like Francis and I, like a lot of the electronic stuff we were doing, we were getting a lot more out of the box with it.
Right.
Like I don't think I was using like drum racks to like make drum programming stuff or anything like that for the
Yeah.
last while. It was like all in an MPC.
Yeah.
All the synths were outboard. We were just using it as a place to record audio.
Right.
And then mess with it from there. But yeah. So and then when it came to live stuff, it was kind of just the same thing. Yeah. We were trying to like
secrets.
make it as live as possible already.
Yeah.
But
No, and I feel like that's always gonna, especially now, will make your sound stand out.
I think trying to keep things out, like the recording process or like playing things actually
Mhm.
helps a lot.
Yeah.
Or sequencing, like even using like hardware sequencers and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that too, for electronic stuff does.
Well,
I'm not a nerd enough to.
I know. I was gonna
understand
say,
it.
it's like
So I
Austin's just sitting
zoned
there
out
being
like
like,
20 seconds.
I know how to use a red camera,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't even know how to use it. I'm like the worst technically oriented person in the world.
I mean, I kind of am too, to be honest.
But that can be a good thing too.
Yeah, like I mean, I
Just
think
plug
that's
it.
a
when you get
interesting
to
thing.
like bear down with it, it can
Yeah.
get very boring.
I
pretty
always
quickly.
find this. I think we've talked about this on the pod before, but like, there are people who are really good at music, and they're the people on TikTok like doing crazy
Yeah.
fucking riffs and shit. And then there's people who are like just really good at writing songs, you
Mhm.
know, and like those two things don't always correlate.
Well,
you
it's
know,
like
there's
people with taste and people
Yeah, no,
it's, I
that-
think it comes
that-
down
that
to
like
taste.
treat it like a
That was
sport.
that was one thing that someone said to me a while ago. They're like you're probably gonna be like relatively successful as long as you have like a certain amount of taste.
Yeah.
And if you're a good person.
And if you're a good
Yeah.
person and like you get along, you know, like if you have those two things,
yeah,
like
yeah.
Yeah. No,
But
taste is so important because there's like even things like album art. Like
Yeah.
like how many times have you seen like or heard a record and you're like,
this is so
this
good.
is sick,
but-
and I'm like, "Ah, why did you put this on your cover? Not gonna name names,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
there's some releases that I do like, and I just have to not look at them when I'm listening to them on my phone.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Lots of those.
But that's enough. I mean, people do judge books by their cover. You
Yeah.
know?
yeah.
No, it's true.
It's enough
it's
to
true.
kill it.
I was gonna say as well, you had like a pretty strong visual aspect to this record.
Mhm.
Yeah, a lot of music videos, and you,
Yeah, the mu-
did you direct?
So no, I didn't direct those. That was all done with Aaron O'Connor.
Okay, right.
They're
yeah.
like this person. I mean, we were friends before.
Yeah.
Never thought about working with each other, and then they posted about wanting to make a ski music video on
Sick.
Instagram, and then I just showed interest, and it
Sick.
all went from there. And I was
And they
very
did
lucky.
all of
All
the
of them.
visuals. Okay.
We shot all 4 videos in 3 weeks
Wow.
Damn.
in Montreal in the winter. It was all shot in February.
Sick.
But there was this guy Briggs Ogloff that he was the DP and the colorist for all of
Okay.
it, and then another producer named Matisse who did all the editing and stuff
Sweet.
too. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, each concept, like Aaron came up with most of the concepts, then we collaborated on them too.
Sick.
But yeah, and then on set it was just really just doing stuff as quickly as possible and using what we can do for as little money as possible.
Yeah.
We kept it very tight.
Nice.
Like use the same camera for everything.
Yeah.
Use like kind of this. We had this sort of through line visual thing across all.
Yeah,
of
that's
them.
what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
is
it
that it's
seems
all
very
it's
cohesive.
coherent.
Yeah, like we really went in on like brainstorming that stuff to make sure it was cohesive and,
Yeah.
and whatnot.
And it's important. It's like you kind of need that because when you see like, artists with like, whenever, more so in like rap, I guess, but like when every video is just like completely different.
Yeah,
and you're just like,
I mean, it happens in rap a lot.
it's just like, it's like here's the narrative video, and here's the performance video, and here's the da da da.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Like, come on, guys. Unless you're Kanye West,
Kanye West can do whatever
you're
he
a
wants.
complete psycho. Everything has to be the exact same.
Yeah.
But not like his early stuff is like some random, like sporadic videos.
Of Kanye?
Yeah,
Yeah, but that was like when he was.
that was a
like,
different time.
yeah, he was
MTV
just like
days.
a nice guy.
Yeah.
That was the heyday.
Just a nice humble man.
It's gonna happen.
Do you listen to rap?
Yeah.
What-
Not I go in waves again. It's like it all depends on how much I'm like listening to music and
Right.
walking and listening.
Yeah.
But recently I'm trying to think what rap I might have been listening to.
I'm having like a like a Griselda moment right now, like West Side Gun and all those guys.
Oh, crazy.
Which I hated for so long.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck this. And then all of a sudden I'm like, hey yo, what's up? What's
Yeah,
up? It's
yeah.
like, I'm like, this guy's great. Also, seeing what he looks like is my favorite part. 'Cause he
Okay.
has a-
I have
he-
no idea what.
He literally has
yeah.
a baby voice, and he's like huge.
Is it all pitched up and stuff?
No,
or is
it's
that's
just
his voice?
That's just
yeah,
his
yeah.
voice. He just like has a high pitched voice, but he's like this like huge dude. He's like big, and he like raps about like high art. it's like ridiculous, but like
That's so
amazing.
sick. I guess like the only hip hop I've been listening to recently is that guy like 454. He's like a skater and stuff too. Like Squills is his Instagram handle.
Yes, yeah,
He has
yeah,
a
yeah.
song called Late Night. It's
Okay.
really crazy. He does this thing where like it's the same song just played twice, but the first half is it all pitched up, and then the second half is just at normal speed, so it kind of just slows down.
And
Does
it's
the
same
thing.
track.
Yeah,
It just flips.
but
and
it's
does it
sick.
again.
It's very like sample heavy and stuff. I guess not every song. It's a bit of a. It reminded me a lot of like the Pureborn,
Okay.
like the purple one, the Pureborn something for
Yeah, I know. What
Life
you're
of
talking
Pierre for or
about.
whatever.
Yeah.
In a similar
just
style,
the-
but
yeah.
like being flowy and like pitching things up and down.
Yeah,
and
just like kind of like one cohesive like
Exactly.
track. 15.
nice.
Sweet. I think we
Cover a lot of ground there.
we kind of
We
went
didn't get
over
into
it.
Will Blunderfield stuff though, but we can
Oh.
talk off pod about.
We can.
I think
Unless
you
you
should go
want
off.
to
I
right
want to
now.
hear about this. I wanna hear
No,
about
I mean, you
this.
should watch it. Hopefully, it's back up on Patreon. But it's this guy. He's like, I was telling you, he's like, it's all about rewilding your body. and
No,
stuff.
let's talk about this.
Yeah, I mean,
let's
it's hard to describe. Like you have to dive in for yourself. His Twitter is where it really gets deranged and explicit.
But
Um,
a big portion of it is about drinking your urine.
Yeah, that's because he gets like high off it. He says, it's like makes him feel good.
So what is his diet? Like is it?
No, it's all about. It's all about getting detoxifying from microplastics. And what was the other thing? Astrazine. Yeah, no, he's brutal. It's like very canceled behavior. But
Post soy boy.
yeah, it's the most Vancouver shit ever. Actually, it like embodies Vancouver in a really crazy way. I'm sure many people would disagree with that, but
Is
I
this guy
100%
from
agree.
Vancouver?
yeah.
How old
I
is he?
grew up like a block away from him.
Oh, you know him?
I don't know him personally. Like we've met before, I guess, when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But it was like my brother's best friend growing up, his older brother.
Okay.
So it's like this kind of But he was a singer and stuff, and then now he's on this like really wild tip. But yeah, Andrew Callahan did this like long form interview piece. It's like 17-minute documentary about him and his practice because he's considered a sexual kung fu coach. Yeah, it's like
You can do anything nowadays, man.
you can.
Does he have a
You can do
following?
anything.
Sort of. I mean, yeah. He keeps getting banned because he does like spew a lot of like homophobic and anti-vax stuff. You know,
Yeah.
the classics.
Yeah.
Like it's just
Classic stuff.
horrible. But
Yeah.
then it's wild stuff.
All right. Well, everybody who's
We're in the-
listening,
Yeah.
Are we
yeah.
in
Go
the
check
new
out
age of like 70s spiritual
Blunderfield.
gurus, like the
That's what this
post new
is.
age?
Yeah. This
Yeah.
seems like it's on. If this was in the 70s, it would just be a
Yeah.
cult already.
I feel like it's gonna start happening. I've been thinking about going on a silent retreat.
There you go. I know some people that have done those.
Because
Yeah.
it's I don't know,
They
it
seem
sounds
to
sick,
love
but there's
it.
so many. There's way more of those popping up nowadays of just like random like spiritual retreats and and kind of occultism stuff. Not occultism, but like
Basically,
yeah, pretty much.
They
And
say
it's all
they're
and it's all
anti-cults,
happening in
but-
Vancouver. It's all happening on the island.
Well, Vancouver's always had like a new agey kind of
Yeah,
vibe to
yeah,
it,
yeah.
so it's like not surprising.
Also,
that this
all their
would-
businesses there are ran like cults. Every like when I worked at like the coffee shop in Vancouver, it was like, this is a cult.
I
This
mean,
is not
I
just a
worked
coffee
I
shop.
worked at a coffee shop that was it was very Christian.
Oh, was it? They're
but,
all very Christian there.
Yeah, it was very Christian, and but I didn't really care because I was like, I'm here to get the paycheck. I'm
Which
not, like-
coffee shop?
It was called Matchstick.
I worked at Matchstick too.
No shit. Which location?
The West End one.
Okay. I worked at like
That's
when they only had
hilarious.
2. I worked at the original,
The
and then I
Fraser
worked.
one?
Yeah, and then I
Yeah.
worked down in Chinatown as
That's
well.
hilarious. Do you know he got canceled, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this is there you go. So it was very much a cult. So
That's
you know.
hilarious.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I was there during
when
the
it happened.
cancellation,
Amazing.
and then
So-
we like started the unionization of
Wonderful. Yeah.
It was
So I worked
crazy.
there for 2 years, 3 years.
Matchstick. Yeah.
And I watched it all happen. I moved to Montreal, and then I saw it all going down on Instagram.
It
Wait,
was
so what
nuts.
happened?
I guess you know more about it than I do.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, okay, yeah, he was always just kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And like was just like he would always do like weird little like he probably took some class in manipulation, it felt like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he would like say people's name wrong and like do little weird things like that, and then he would like bring people into an office, like just him, and he would like sit down with them, and like he would go on these long walks with people, and it's like it's a fucking
was guru
coffee
stuff,
shop.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
like it was fully guru stuff where he was trying to like
Exactly, yeah.
indoctrinate people and like really get people to be way more than employees. You know what I mean? Where it's like, this is just a fucking coffee, and
Like
it worked.
it worked because like it didn't feel like a clock in clock out to some people.
No.
Like it was for me.
Yeah, me too.
But
But
what was the end goal? Like, what was?
I
he-
think the end goal was to just like initiate enough people into the
get
cult
more
of this coffee shop so that he could like build some kind of
giant coffee shop.
I don't know. Some like take
the
over
end
the
goal, yeah.
world like coffee shop. I don't know what his I think he was just like
it's like a
genuinely.
Nathan Fielder.
Yeah.
type of-
It's not just a coffee. Like it felt like he was trying to start a cult, and like his whole like Instagram persona was this like very like whitewashed like Christian beige.
But I know if you like went to church with them and stuff too.
Yeah, that was the
people
thing.
were getting raises and
Yeah,
stuff.
people, if you were like if you were in the church, like most of
Yeah.
the people who I worked with were like knew him from the church, and then like if you continue to go to the church with him, you like all these people got promoted so fast, and then if you were not Christian, which I wasn't at the time, and also would not even tell him that I was in the way that he
Yeah.
is, you would just like stay where you are. I remember I told him that I like didn't believe in God, and he was just like, and then walked away. And then like I was supposed to get a promotion and just nothing. Like
Yeah, you're stuck in the dish
you just
pit
like I
from then.
was stuck. It was insane. And then anyways, one day he got like someone posted. I guess someone who worked for him previously, and it kind of felt like they had their own motivations to do it, but I don't know. They posted something about him being just like a piece of shit, and there was nothing really like. I mean, it was like fucked up. He would take girls into the office and like touch their thigh and be like, "I hope you find God" and stuff like
What?
that. Yeah,
Oh, that's dark.
yeah. And
But
then
I only got the job initially too because I worked with them at another coffee shop beforehand,
oh,
like
at,
as like co-employees
at,
Crema.
at-
Was this
oh,
spot?
okay.
Because I mean, that which is a very great coffee shop
Yeah.
or used to be and stuff too. Great owners there, no
Yeah.
shade at all. Great people. But then when I applied at Matchstick because I moved into East Van and I was like, I need a job, and they
Yeah.
gave it to me immediately. And then I witnessed all that stuff. And I told them I was like, I don't want to race, I don't want to move up.
Yeah.
I like my like
Yeah.
I'm
Just
good here.
Leave me be.
Yeah, and then they kept being like, "No, you need to you need to learn how to use the machine
Oh
and
my
stuff."
God,
And I'm
yeah.
like, "Absolutely not! Like, I'm gonna just keep pouring black coffees and keep paying me the same amount." I'm good.
I'm happy.
Yeah,
I'm
good,
and
I'm
they
good.
they didn't like that.
Yeah, no, they really don't. I forget what else happened. I've kind of blocked it all out because I also just like ignored half of it, but
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
insane.
I feel like this is like a new kind of thing though. These like culty businesses popping up beyond just this coffee shop. Because
Yeah.
I've just been like seeing these kind like the whole concept of like the family and the like, especially when it's just like a low paying job. Like
Yeah.
you just like you were saying, you just want to go
Yeah.
get your paycheck and go home.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a minimum wage job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you don't need to rise in the ranks of like the world of coffee, unless you do.
Unless you
which
do.
Is,
I
which
mean,
is
because
sick.
coffee is also
If that's your
it can,
thing.
it can be, but it doesn't need to be in this way.
It doesn't need to be anything
It
more
doesn't
than
need to be. He would just make it such a big deal.
Yeah.
Like
Was
it
the
was the
coffee
end
good?
of the world. It was fine. It's
Interesting.
good coffee. I mean,
Sure, yeah. Since
good.
then, I like really. Everyone was like, "Oh, how are you making coffee at home now?" and stuff. When I was working there, and you had
Yeah.
tasting journal as well.
I remember I told them I had like a drip machine, and they were like, "Oh." Really?
Yeah,
I
not
was
so
like,
down with that. But the
Yeah,
tasting
well.
journal too. I just bullshit that one the whole time.
I think they took that out.
Yeah,
Wait,
okay,
I'm sorry.
good.
What is the tasting
You
journal?
would every week they would have like new beans and stuff, and you would have to record your tasting journal, and then you'd leave it in a thing, and they would check it
Oh my
and be like,
God.
"Oh, really? You taste nuts in this kind of?"
So we
thing?"
got less coffee.
And then I
then.
would ask employees that like knew what they were talking about, and I was like, "Just tell me what you put down for today. Like, I don't care."
People like don't want to cheat.
But it was only so like when like the wax mustache guys came in to buy coffee, and they asked you about like what the coffees were, you'd have like something to tell them. You
Yeah.
know? It was like being a sommelier for coffee.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I get is a thing for some people, but
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
You're just working a job.
Yeah,
again.
exactly.
Oh man. Yeah, a lot of Vancouver businesses I feel though are ran that way. It's just like trying to be more than just a fucking business.
Yeah.
It's like just run
Not
your
everything
business.
needs a story.
Just run your fucking business. Just run your fucking business. I don't need to hear your mission statement as to why I'm gonna drink your coffee. Like, fuck.
Oh man.
Just get the bag.
Yeah, exactly.
Get the bag and run.
Yeah.
And I love that you worked there. That's so funny.
That's so hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've talked to a bunch of people who also worked at Matchstick. It seems to
Nice.
be kind of a rite of passage in Vancouver. I worked there for too long too. I worked there for like 2 years.
Yeah, I think they had just showed me how to use the espresso machine. Then
Yeah.
I said I was moving to Montreal. I finally was like, fine, and then I was out.
Like, that's my cue to leave.
Yeah.
Damn.
Sweet.
It's also small. It was crazy to see like a small business owner be canceled.
Yeah,
That was insane because it was like
but they were expanding
they were expanding.
huge, and I think anytime when you expand like that quickly
Yeah.
and you're fucked up, then
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
it's
is
just
bound
And
to come
I'm
out.
not saying that he didn't deserve to be canceled because I think he
Yeah.
did. Like he was a piece of shit. But I also found I was like, this is kind of like I feel like there's a better way to go about this. Like this is like a small.
I mean,
business.
he walked away with a bag though. Like they sold their shares.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Oh,
it
so
was
he's
like-
just gone now.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
they
left.
left as the owners
Yeah.
Okay.
and founders. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's he doing now? Just like
Who knows?
He started a TikTok actually.
No.
Yeah. I gotta find it. I'll send it to
And
you.
we're back to TikTok.
He was like, I remember there was yeah, fuck. I hope he doesn't listen. to
it's just like amazing content.
It's like one of the guys with Will Blunderfield.
Yeah, him
Me and my friend Will
Blunderfield
have,
are starting a company.
joined
piss
forces.
company. A piss filtration.
Yeah.
Piss coffee.
Piss coffee.
That's like a thing, like the cat piss coffee, right?
Wait, what?
Or is it cat shit coffee? Cat shit coffee.
Yeah, people would like that was like a tasting note for sure.
Cat shit?
No, no.
Yeah, I feel like people would talk about it. Oh, you're talking about literally they make coffee out of cat
Yeah,
shit?
so they would feed the beans
Oh,
to
yes,
the
yes,
cats,
yes,
and then they
yes.
eat them, and they shit them out, and they like
Yeah.
clean them, and then they
Yes,
like
that
cook
is a
or
thing. Yeah.
brew them or whatever.
Why?
But
It's
also
like-
some coffee does smell like cat shit.
Yeah,
so
there is
true.
that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
that's a note.
Yeah, it can be the notes can be everything, and that's when I realized that I'm like, okay,
It's all bullshit.
I'm done with this. Yeah, I'm a big McDonald's coffee guy. now.
I've just always been a drip coffee guy.
Yeah, big
Yeah.
time.
Like maybe an Americano if I'm feeling.
No,
a
I
little
got
crazy.
fucking latte pilled and cappuccino pilled when I was working at that coffee shop, and now I have like too expensive taste for
Too
my
much
budget.
milk. That shit's gross.
I get like
Yeah,
a
especially
just
for-
or like a cortado.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
I don't know.
Should be drinking that much milk.
milk
that early in the
Well, I'm
day.
substitutes.
gonna
why do you-
cappuccino.
It's like it all is bad. I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
Yeah,
Black
I wish
coffee
I
all the
wasn't.
way.
I want to go back to just drinking.
You just
drip
gotta
coffee.
force it-
I gotta go
force it
back.
on yourself.
Just a
Yeah.
working
Black
man's
drip.
cup of coffee.
I
you
know.
Just
It's the best way. I'm not spending $7 on a coffee. That's
Yeah.
true.
So
yeah,
yeah, it's been filtered.
yeah. Filtered through
He shouted it.
the flesh.
I think that's a good note to end on.
Yeah.
All right, Patrick.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thanks for
guys.
Thank you
coming.
for coming
It was
through.
great to meet you.
Yeah, it was
Strong.
amazing to actually finally meet you.
Yeah.
And thanks to Bane for supervising.
Yeah.
Of course.
Like we
Yeah.
kept it
Thanks
in.
for fact-checking.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was factual.
Perfect.
Okay.
100%
good to
factual. You're here to hear first.
know. Wicked. Thank you.
Peace.
All right.
Let's get there. Let's go out. I won't I get out enough. You are losing touch, swimming across the sky, too much. Focus off the nearest fool. Walk along the puzzle as it screams at you. You are falling for you, again. Shaking up, it's all too much. Falling off the nights of broke. Where's the crush? You are falling for you, again. Falling for your doubt again and again and again.